What if you could only own one ship in Star Citizen and it had to do everything? Combat, cargo, exploration, crew play. Which ship would you choose? Out of all of these ships, you won't guess who wins. In this video, I'll compare 5 tiers of ships from budget friendly to capital class monsters to find the best all-round ship in the verse. I'll cover the Titan, the Shiv, the Constellation, Asgard, and Polaris. And I'll also mention a few alternatives along the way, because some of these might surprise you. Let's start small and work our way up. Starting off with our first contender is the Aegis Avenger Titan. Now this little ship might be small, but it's very versatile. This ship is really good for combat missions. It can act as a fighter, but it also can do cargo runs. It has a nice little 8 SCUs of cargo in the backside, but believe me, this little ship can even take out one of the biggest ships in the game, which is the Hammerhead. If you're new to Star Citizen, I recommend picking up the Titan just because it's such a nice little ship. You won't be disappointed. If you're somebody that wants to do small cargo runs like box missions and combat missions like bounty hunting and so forth, the Titan is the perfect ship. Eventually, you're going to want to upgrade from the Titan depending on what you want to do. But let's first talk about the next ship. In tier 2, we're going to talk about the Grace Shiv. So this Shiv is basically a Cutlass Black modified with other weapons. You can't currently buy the Shiv in game, but if you can buy it on the website, you're going to want to pick up the Shiv instead of the Cutlass Black. Currently, the Shiv is very strong. It acts as a heavy fighter, but it can also carry 32 SCUs of cargo. The Shiv is very strong in all departments. It can do combat missions, take out a Hammerhead as I mentioned before. This means the Shiv is a very strong ship if you want to do pirating or you want to transfer small amounts of cargo. 32 SCUs. The Shiv is also very stealthy, meaning you can do stealth runs with your cargo where you might be in danger for pirates, but you can use the Shiv as a stealth ship to hide yourself. But currently you can't buy the Shiv in game, so I would recommend that if you can't buy the Shiv with real world money, buy the Cutlass Black in game for in-game money until the Shiv becomes available. Just because the Cutlass Black is very similar as the Shiv, I've already made a video about the Shiv versus the Cutlass Black. I'll place it here in the card above so you can go and watch that video. But mainly the Shiv has more firepower and less cargo than the Cutlass Black, and the Cutlass Black has a little bit more cargo space than the Shiv. But the Shiv is way more maneuverable and fun. So go with the Shiv if you can buy it with real world money. But if you can't buy the Shiv with real world money, buy the in-game Cutlass Black. What makes the Shiv and the Cutlass Black an upgrade from the Titan is that it can transport small vehicles, which can open new gameplay loops, like rock mining. If you're looking for a daily driver that has a bit more cargo, you should go and look at the Constellation Taurus. This is the next upgrade from the Cutlass Black and the Shiv. It still has decent firepower, but if you require something with cargo and very decent firepower, you should look also at the Corsair. Both of these ships are a bit bigger and offer a bit more cargo, with the Constellation Taurus having 174 SCUs of cargo and the Corsair having 72 SCUs of cargo. You should pick the Corsair if you want to do bounty hunting missions or have more firepower, but if you want to do more cargo runs, pick the Constellation. Both of these ships fit into a similar role. It's up to you which one you pick. Just take note, these ships' maneuverability isn't great. This means that you can't really take on bigger ships like the Hammerhead with these ships, or you can, but it will be a lot more difficult. So if you want a ship with maneuverability, go back to the Cutlass Black and the Shiv if you want to take out bigger ships like the Hammerhead. It doesn't mean these ships can't do it, but it's gonna be more difficult. Now we're moving on even to a bigger ship, which is going to be the Anvil Asgard. This ship even has more cargo than the Constellation. It has 180 SEUs of cargo, which is insane. Not only does it have a lot of cargo, the ship also has a big bay, so you can load in a lot bigger vehicles like tanks and so forth. So the loading capacity of the ship is a lot bigger. Even though it says that the ship has 180 SEUs of cargo, you can cram in a lot more if you don't snap the cargo onto the grids. Also, the Asgard is a very good ship if you want to do exploration or any of the bunker missions, since the ship has these side doors that you can utilize to get in and out of the ship. A lot of players in Star Citizen says that the Asgard is the perfect daily driver, and there's a reason for it. It just feels amazing, and the design of the ship with the VTOL and everything that it comes with, it feels like the ship is perfectly designed for everyday use. But believe it or not, the Asgard does have a competitor called the Starlancer. You get a few variants, but specifically the Starlancer Max is a better ship if you require more cargo. So you might have to look at the Starlancer Max if you require a ship with even more cargo. But there is a disadvantage using a Starlancer. It's going to be slower and less maneuverable. So pick the Asgard if you want a more maneuverable ship, and if you want bigger cargo, pick the Starlancer Max. Now we're talking about the biggest ship on the list, the Capital Class King. This is the Polaris. The Polaris is a massive ship with massive firepower and so forth. It can carry a lot of cargo as well. Exactly, it's going to carry 576 cargo. So meaning this ship can carry a lot of cargo, but it's also a massive ship. I'm not going to say it's solo friendly, but a lot of people are flying this ship as a solo ship or solo friendly daily driver. It's an enormous ship, and if you want to make a statement, get this ship. You can get this ship from Wicklow. It's going to require a lot of work to get it, but once you have it, it's yours. Unless the game actually wipes, but that's a different story for another day. The Polaris has it all. It has med bays. It can transport vehicles, even smaller ships. It can do everything and anything for a daily driver. But it is very huge. Getting parking for a ship or landing on a planet sometimes can be difficult with this massive ship. And also a big disadvantage of the ship is that it's easy to pirate, since a lot of pirates like to sneak onto the Polaris when you're not looking. So from all of these ships, which is the best? We have the Avenger Titan, the Shiv, the Constellation, the Asgard, and the Polaris. From all of these ships, I would say the Shiv is the best ship in this category, but that's personally for me, since I like doing bounty huntings and having a little bit cargo space for looting here and there. It might differ for you. For a lot of people, it's going to be the Asgard or the Starlancer, or for some, it's going to be the Constellation. It really depends on what you want to do with your ship. I recommend going out and actually buying a ship and flying with it, or asking in chat to basically land the ship for a day and fly around with it and see if you like it. All of these ships can be amazing, but my recommendation is either get a Cutlass Black or a Shiv, or a Constellation or Asgard. For me personally, the Shiv is the best all-rounder ship, since it can do combat, it can do a little bit of cargo runs, and I just love the Shiv. Leave in the comments what's your favorite daily driver. Go and watch this video to see the Shiv versus the Cutlass Black.